let's just check the time real quick. Y'all can see that it's Friday, 2:52. Okay. Just me out here, you know, doing good. The Volvo, got the Bobcat. Ka-ching. The stupid track ran off of the bottom roller. Couldn't happen at 8:30 on a Friday morning. It's to happen at 3 o'clock. Hey guys, welcome back to another Dig or Die video. My name's Hayden. Today we're going to be working on another silt pond. So we're starting this one from scratch. This is the first one that I've started in a little while now. Usually somebody else starts them and I finish them, but yeah, I'm going to start on this one. So my boss came over here and got the water to drain mostly yesterday. We've got the Volvo 220 here right now. I don't know if this is a sand filter or a wet pond or dry pond. I would assume it's a sand filter, but I don't know quite yet. So what I'm going to do right now is come in here. There's still a little bit of water out in the middle, so I'm going to come in here, break these, pull these baffles out, and then try to get that little bit of water to drain over here towards the box. So I'm gonna dive off in here. It's just too hard to try to do this off of the slope up there with the angle of the bucket the way it is. So I'll just come down here and try to get her all drained out. I know it may seem stupid, I said that earlier, it may seem dumb that I'm trying to get these last 3 or 4 inches of water out of here, and it may even take me an hour to get it to drain this last little bit, but I promise that hour of extra work trying to get the water out is way better than it's way more efficient than how am I trying to say this? Me taking an hour right now to drain this water out will save 4 or 5 hours or more when it comes to mucking it out, because we have to move this material we have to move all this mud up and over the dam, get it out of the pond. And so therefore it takes it a while. It'll take us a while to move it, and we have to move it a pretty good distance. So if we can get it all pretty dry that will help us move it way faster. Because when it's wet like this, you can't really stack it up, and you can't get full buckets. They're always like little half buckets. So if you can get it to where you can get full buckets and be able to stack it, you know, 4 or 5, 6 foot high, that helps a lot versus not being able to stack it up at all. Because this wet material, man, it's basically like moving water a lot of times. You know water, you can't stack water up on itself. It's got a lot of water in it. It just makes a big old mess. Alright, well, I'm gonna get this water to draining, get it drained out, and then after that I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and let you guys watch me start mucking this thing out. Okay guys, so I've got this whole side mucked out now. That's about as high as I can pile that stuff up. It just keeps, the more I throw up there, it just keeps pushing out. So we're done in the bottom right now. I think I'm gonna come over here and dig a hole on the back side of the dam. It's not gonna be too big of one, but I'll probably see how deep I can get down here. If I can just dig a hole, you know, a couple buckets wide, nothing crazy, because it's 2 o'clock, 2:30, so I don't want to be here late burying mud tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna put you guys in the cab and y'all come with me down the hill. Okay, so I am gonna head off down here to the bottom and start on a hole. some flat spot to sit. And just see how far we can get today. down there. It's not that deep. I hit rock in the bottom, so I might only be able to bury 6 or 7 loads of mud, but that's really not that much. There's not much in here, maybe 10 or 15 loads, so hopefully tomorrow I can move over there and dig a bigger hole. But the good thing about this mud being wet, it's aggravating to work with, but right here is so sloppy steep. So hopefully it will just slide on down the hill. Oh yeah. So that is the good thing about sloppy mud. Sometimes it works like that. After I get a thin layer of mud on the dry dirt, the mud will slide on itself. There it goes. So I'm gonna bury what I can today and cover it up with dry dirt. Then we'll come back. Oh, jeez. Holy smokes. Look like I ain't never run this thing before. Easy now. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, there's really no good way to video this, even on a time lapse. Like you won't really be able to see much. So I think I'm just gonna video just a little bit, and then I'm going to cut you guys off, and I'll pick you back up whenever I start doing something else. I don't know. Oh, easy. Jeez, man. No track code driving. Look like I ain't never done this before. Flip this thing over. That wouldn't be no good, would it? I wish I had somebody here to stand down there and video. It would be pretty interesting, but like I say, I can't really do that. Okay, so I'm down here. Let me turn the steer down a bit. I'm down here in the pond. I've already moved a few loads up and over the pond dam. Now I'm kind of restocking right there beside the toe of the slope. Kind of restocking that mud up so I can grab it from the top and flip it over again. This is going pretty good. This is, I think I started here at like 10 o'clock this morning and got almost the whole pond mucked out. Haven't got it buried yet, but and it is 2:30 in the afternoon. Pretty decent. Alright, so we've got our hole filled up. It's about 2 feet from the top, 2 to 3 feet down here on this corner. So I am gonna walk down. I guess I don't have to explain it, I'll just do it. How about that? Walk down this hill. Oh gosh, I forgot about mud. Mud on the tracks. Oh, I mean, thank the Lord that this is dirt's here, but yeah, I forgot about that. You get mud on the tracks like that, you will be I would be in a mess. It's about probably a 50, close to a 50-foot drop from top of dam down to that hole right there. So that wouldn't be good. I'm sorry, I think my hat was in the way, but so I'm just gonna take this dirt, cap over this mud. It's really hard to do anything like this just because there's nowhere flat to sit or anything like that. It's kind of aggravating, but that's alright. Nothing that we can't make work, you know. So I probably got, I would say, over half of the mud in this hole here, so you know that worked very, very good. So tomorrow I should have the rest of the mud buried tomorrow, and then after that hopefully I can get a Bobcat over here. We can start grading. Alright, so I'm going to work my way down the hill here. Looks like there's a little bit of a flat shelf right here. Don't know why this is here, but that's nice. Doesn't make much sense, but I'm not complaining. Alrighty. So right here at the end of my bucket, there's our pipe that comes out. And then there's like a little plunge pool right here. I guess they've built a little berm so the water can, I don't know why, but that's what they did. So I'm gonna start digging right about here, and we're gonna see how far we can get. So got our hole dug down there. I cut a little trough in the edge. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully where I can just throw this mud down the hill, it'll slide off in the hole, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna just video a few think it is. But I really don't know. I mean, it should. Jeez. This Volvo is very jumpy. Morning, guys. It's Friday morning here. Back on this pond. So I've got all the mud buried yesterday. We got the Bobcat over here today. What you didn't see me do yesterday was all the dirt that I had dug out of the bar pits. We have a bar pit right here, a bar pit down there. All the dirt that I dug out of that one I threw up on these slopes, and they were really steep, probably a 2 to 1. They need to be, I would say, a 3 to 1 to be able to mow them. So what I did was just kind of halfway spread all this out with the track hoe yesterday, knowing that I was going to get the Bobcat today. And I also took the riprap spillway out. For some reason this one doesn't have a spillway. I don't know why. Some of them do, some of them don't. But so today I'm gonna get on the Bobcat and start grading this slope and track it all in. Grade this top, just fill in this indentation where the spillway is at, and hopefully get this done and get it all tracked in, ready for the rain. We're gonna be gone all week next week, but after that I'm going to start shooting the bottom of the pond and see about where our grade's at. And if we have enough time, I'm gonna strip all the grass off and kind of grade the slopes. I'll probably start where the track goes at and work my dirt and strippings around this way, so where we can take them and throw them over the back as well. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I'm sorry the camera died there when I got back to about this point, but got the slope pretty much graded. I'm gonna have to track it in after a while. I'll track this lower section in now, but looks way better than it was. It's not finished. We'll come back and hit it again. Of course, we're just the first stages here. So now I'm going to go over there and start about in the middle of that slope there and just start working dirt around. Pretty much that slope, pretty much just going to scrape the grass off and get it kind of smoothed out. There's a little bit of cut in this one, and then some up in this corner around this box, and whatever I cut out I'll probably just throw over here, and we'll throw that dirt off the back of the dam as well. We need to widen this widen this out here. It's 12 feet wide from here to the back, so it's almost wide enough, but it's a little bit lower, and the slope's pretty steep. So yeah, that's what we're gonna work on now. We're doing good coming around. I've got this side, got this slope graded. I haven't shot it with the laser yet. I'm sure it's pretty close. These top stakes are close. The bottom should be pretty close too, but let's just check the time real quick. Y'all can see that it's Friday, 2:52. Okay. Just me out here, you know, doing good. The Volvo, got the Bobcat. Ka-ching. The stupid track ran off of the bottom roller. Couldn't happen at 8:30 on a Friday morning. Has to happen at 3 o'clock. So I could probably get this on by myself, but it'd probably take me like an hour and a half, maybe. I would have to have a stick to stick through the window and move the joystick while the lap bar's down. Plus I'd have to jack it up with the track hoe in the back, jab the front in the ground, then get out, shut the door, press the release button, then take a stick and move the joystick in there while holding the pry bar on the track to get this back on. I've gotten one track on by myself one time and it was so not worth it. It ended up being a nightmare. So Grant's on the way. He's only like 10 minutes away. He is finishing up at his job anyway, so I think we're going to I'm gonna go ahead and take the bolts out of here and loosen the grease fitting up and at least let it get some slack out of the track, so that way when he gets here, I'll stick the track hoe bucket underneath the back. He can jab the teeth in the ground. And I've got a bar in my truck, call it a track bar, just to put tracks on. And I should be able to just pop that right back on. It's really not off bad. What happened was, you'll be able to see right here. I knew better than to do what I did, but I did it anyway, because 9 times out of 10 I'll get away with it. But I was trying to cut this, sorry for the fans. I was trying to cut this knot out of this slope right here and lay this back. So I drove one track up on the flat part and one on the slope. You don't ever do that. That's stupid, but I did it anyway. And I guess I turned just right and it popped right off. So yeah, now I gotta pay for being an idiot. So let's get this track loosened up. I don't have I just swapped trucks. I got a new truck, so I don't have, dadgummit. Hopefully I've got a ratchet. I don't have any tools, because I have a separate toolbox that wouldn't fit in my new truck that I'm gonna have to get a new box for. So I just have this socket set, and imagine that. No ratchet, not even one. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Let me get I at least have a wrench. Oh, it's a 9/16. So this is how, for anybody that's never done this before, this is how you loosen a track up. You have to take the tension off the track. I'm sure if you've seen any other videos with heavy equipment, or skid steers especially, or minis, I'm sure you've seen people knock tracks off. It's a pretty common thing, especially these tracks have probably 1,200, 1,300 hours on them. So, you know, they get stretched and they don't just hold on like a good new track would. Still my fault. I still shouldn't have done what I did, but I did it anyway. Because 9 times out of 10, that's okay. But, or I can catch it fast enough. I can catch it fast enough to before it runs all the way off. But I didn't this time. This is how this works. Your sprocket is what drives these little gears, drive the track. All these rollers are stationary on the bottom. The roller in the back is stationary. This front idler is not. So you have this idler connects to a piston in here that has grease in it. So if you want to tighten your track up, you put grease in this grease fitting, it'll tighten it up, which in turn pushes this idler out, which in turn tightens your track. So I want to loosen the track, so I will take this grease fitting, just loosen it up as a check ball in there. Whenever you loosen the fitting, grease comes out. Sometimes you have to push the idler in with, say, jam a board in between the bucket and curl the bucket, or take another machine and push the idler in. But usually when you're in a situation like this, there's extra tension on the track, so it will usually pull itself in enough. So there's hardly any way you would get this track back on without loosening the tension. You would risk, if you were doing it with a machine, you would risk breaking a belt in the track, because it's already tensioned up pretty tight, and then you're putting more tension on it. So you want to loosen your tracks anytime you run one off. Makes it way easier to get back on. This in theory, if I had a ratchet, I would have this loose already. I have about 5 minutes in taking this loose. I'll go get the excavator. It makes it way easier with another machine, mini or excavator, or even another Bobcat loader, forklift. You can stick under the back, pick up. I'll do that. I've got a bar. Whenever we get this loose, what'll happen, Grant will get in there. I'll pick up the back of the machine, 6-8 inches. He'll take his bucket, dump it over, jab it into the ground, which will pick up the front of the machine, get this side completely off the ground. I've got a bar I'll stick in between these, and it can be kind of sketchy if you don't know what you're doing, but I'll stick in there, pry down. It's like a 5-foot bar. I'll pry it down while he rotates the track. In this case, it would be backwards to get it back on the idler back there. And I mean, should be a 20-minute track job. Usually if you catch them, you know, if you're inexperienced, and this isn't me saying I'm experienced because I just ran it off doing something stupid that I should have been doing. So don't take anything I say like I'm a professional. But if you don't catch it earlier and you run it off of both, say the front idler and the sprocket, or heaven forbid you run it off of all three, these things are heavy. I don't know how much, but this thing weighs, but I would say a good, on a T770, I would say a good 400 pounds, probably 400 to 300, maybe 300 pounds. They're heavy. So, you're gonna play heck getting it back on by yourself, that's for sure. Because really, with a machine like this, you really need 2 people, one to run the machine, to run the track around, because it's hard to pry it back on by yourself without the track moving. You can see here, the bar of the track is still on this idler. So in theory, once we get the tension off, I may not even have to put a bar on there. I may just have to put one from here to here and pry on it just a little bit as he rolls it around backwards. And it should pop on. That's the plan. They, you know, it always goes as planned. So I'm sure this will be, sure this will go exactly how I just told you, you know, because it always happens that way. Forwards. Yeah. be. He's barely holding on. That bucket right there. It slid off a little bit. I could have probably ran it back on, man. I probably could have done it by myself too, but I was like, I'll sit here and mess with it for an hour and a half and then you'll be at home. So I was like, you know what? Okay guys, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do. That's gonna do it for this week. Got our track back on and I just cleaned up what we had here. I'm going to get down in the bottom, clean up this little bit of mess, back drag it, make it kind of look like that, and then I'm going on vacation, so say goodbye to this. So thank you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this little bit of video. It's kind of a lot of time lapse and stuff, but you know, I just try to get stuff done. So thank y'all. God bless you. Jesus loves you and I do too. Thanks guys. Okay guys, I wanted to read a few verses from Isaiah 41 verse 10. This is a very popular one. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." I also was reading and wanted to read 17 through maybe 19. It says, "When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue is parched with thirst, I, the Lord, will answer them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers on the bare heights and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. I will put in the wilderness the cedar, the acacia, the myrtle, and the olive. I will set in the desert cypress, the plane, and the pine together, that they may see and know, may consider and understand together, that the hand of the Lord has done this, the Holy One of Israel has created it."